Hey everybody, we can go ahead and get started. We'll start with Jen and then Brad.
Coach, let's get going with your injury situation. Do you think James Johnson or Zoe can go tonight? And James Nunnally, would you play him tonight if you need it, or is it just way too soon for a G League guy with one shoot around?
Okay, Zoe's out. James, I think we'll give it a go. We'll see how it goes, and depending on the situation, I'd use anybody on my bench, yeah.
This Knicks squad has had a couple of nice runs lately, and two former Pelicans, Elfrid Payton, Julius Randle, coming off nice games. Defensively, what are you preparing your squad for in terms of contending with them?
Well, I mean, they've got a lot. You're trying to limit them as much as you can. Obviously, the main focus is Julius Randle, but they've shot the ball really well around him with Bullock and R.J. Barrett has played very, very well. Their guys off the bench have been good quickly. And Antonio Burks, Derrick Rose, three great perimeters off the bench. So not an easy team to stop and great at the defensive end. So this is a very good team right now. I think playing as well as probably just about anybody in the East at this point.
Coach, apologies for not asking this the other night, but Najee Marshall had started the previous two games and Wes Iwundu started against Sacramento. Was that a matchup situation, or did you want to see Najee come off the bench?
No, it was just a little situation that happened within the team. So Najee didn't start.
As far as the Knicks defense, their personnel is pretty similar as to what it was a year ago. How have they been able to improve that much defensively? Because they're tops in the league in a lot of categories.
Yeah, no, they're a great defensive team. I mean, they've got, Tom's a great defensive coach. He's a great coach, period. And look, they've got tough veteran guys around, a young guy like R.J. Barrett. I mean, they're putting guys out there who've been in the league and know what it takes. And, they've got a couple of guys that have been with Tom, with Taj Gibson and Derrick Rose. So, they've got people who know what's going on, and it's a tough competitive group. I mean, it's back to the, it's a throwback to the 90s Knicks, low scoring games, a lot of them for them, but, physical, tough, very good defense. And, I think improving offensively, particularly over the last few weeks.
Yeah, Christian Clark here. Two things for me was it whatever did happen? Is that just a one-game thing that you dealt with that, or is that last multiple games?
Nah, it was just and look, he played, so it wasn't a major deal.
And the other thing for me was, the Knicks, they don't really, play very fast. I believe they're here to bottom pace, last and fast break points. Do you feel like, getting out and running opportunistically, is that important for you guys tonight?
Well, we always want to run. We've slowed down a little with Zoe out of the lineup so much over the last 3 weeks, but we always want to run. Yeah, that's big for us. And against New York, you're not going to score a ton of fast break points because they're going to do a good job in transition, but you want to get back and start flowing offensively and not just let them walk back and set up because they're really, really good in the half court.
Excuse me, Jason. One more just about Zoe. I know we talked a couple weeks ago after he had the big game against Houston about humility and his ability to change his shot. But what does it also say about him for being a primary point guard for most of his career and then now having to take on a different role and doing that so seamlessly in the offense this year?
Well, yeah, I don't know that he's had to really take on that much of a bigger role. Yeah, we've given the ball to some other guys at times, but he's still been our point guard when he's played. He hasn't played a lot lately, so that really hasn't changed his role. He just hasn't been out there.
Hey, Coach. Just back on the Knicks. I know you talked about their defense, but nobody really expected them to get off to this good of a start, or for Tom Thibodeau to leave his imprint this quickly. Are you surprised? It's been a while since they've been over 500 this late in the season.
Yeah, no, I'm not really surprised, and I don't really know why anybody is surprised. I mean, if you look at the East, I think that their talent certainly matches up with the teams in the middle of the league. Like, I don't think like you're looking at that team and going, oh my God, they've got nobody. I mean, like, no, I don't know what. Tom's done a fantastic job with them defensively, and I think, you know, their talent is pretty good, certainly compares favorably, you know, to the people in the middle of the pack there in the East, I would think. So I'm not quite sure why everybody's really surprised, but, you know, whatever.
I guess it's because, I mean, it is almost the same team that was on the roster last year. I mean, they added Burks, but it's not really many additions.
Well, okay, so I think in this, like, nobody ever wants to talk about this stuff, but look, they go into last year, they get off to a rough start, and then they decide they want to make a coaching change, right? So they make a coaching change. So now the players are go through training camp, not far into the season, coaching change. Mike was in a difficult situation, coaches them the rest of the year. All right, now they bring people back, so the players have played together. Tom got that little extra training camp in the summer with the bubble to start putting things together with them, so he got a little bit more time. And now they've stayed doing the same thing all year. That stuff actually helps, guys, when players can play in the same system all year. Continuity is a helpful thing. And Tom's a great coach, and they've been able to learn his system and play his system from the summer into training camp into the season. And so I think that summertime in the training camp, he did a great job getting that in, and they had a highly motivated group. And then he's had a hell of a year out of Julius Randle, who's gone just from being a scorer to being a great, well-rounded player, one of the best forwards in this league.
Thanks, Coach.
It's Sam Mark Virginia here. Good to see you. I was wondering, when you weigh the pros and cons of it, what do you ultimately think of the playing tournament?
I mean, it doesn't matter what I think. We're trying to get in it. So, you know, what my thing, you know, my own personal thing on what they should or should not have done with that doesn't even matter. I don't think about it. We're trying to get in it. So that's what is important to me. I thought it was funny that, you know, that Mark Cuban, who I absolutely love, was a guy who voted for it, and as I understand it, really pushed it. Not just voted for it, but really pushed it. And now when they're sitting where they are, they don't like it. So.
Hey Stan, it's Aaron Weisman. So Zion's getting a shot block a lot this year more than anyone else, not even just Portland against the Raiders. I know it's great, not trying to pick a flaw or anything, make up the flaw, but just curious why you think this is happening, and is it something that concerns you at all?
No, it doesn't concern me. The guy goes to the basket more than anybody in the league by far. I think the stats will bear that out. He's at the rim more than anybody. He shoots a high percentage at the rim, so he's very efficient. And when you go that often, you're going to get some shots blocked. So, you know, I guess it's okay then if you go in or shoot 10-footers because you can't get to the rim and miss. But it's not okay if you get them blocked. It's a BS stat. Who cares?
Yeah, hey Stan. Just about the OTAs that you were referring to, did you feel it was a little of an extra edge for the teams that got that OTAs, and some teams that were in the bubble never got a chance to? And also, you know, you're from upstate Rockport. The Knicks being more relevant, you know, is it good for the league to have them, you know, being not terrible anymore?
The league would have to comment on that. I don't have any idea. Is it better for the league or anything else? It's better for Knicks fans when they're good. I know that. It's better for anybody's fans when their team is good. Other than that, I don't have any idea. You'd have to ask Adam on that. As far as the camps were fair, I thought, because the other teams were in the bubble and had the time there. So, you know, there was no unfair advantage to teams having that. No, not at all, because everybody else was in the bubble. So, They actually did it to just try to even it up a little bit and not have such a long layoff. And I think at least most of those coaches would say they thought that time was helpful for them, and gave them sort of an extra training camp coming in, and probably as a new coach a little bit more advantageous. But I can't say that for sure. I just know that it happened and he had time, but Tom would have to tell you how much he thinks that helped him or didn't help him.
All right, thank you, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Yeah.